What's up, everyone? It's me, CN.TSUKAIMA, and welcome to Fantasy Cross Duels for Arcade Mode on the Soul Calibur 5 video game. And today's fighters I got here are Johnny from Shadow Hearts versus NOWE from DRAKENGARD 2. In case you guys never heard about these characters or their games, let me tell you all about them, because these games I played them before, way back in 2007 and 2008, and these games are very great. If you guys never heard about Shadow Hearts or DRAKENGARD 2, please check them out. You guys will love these games. And let me tell you the background stories in each one. Starting off with Johnny from Shadow Hearts 3 from the New World. Johnny, he's a 16-year-old boy who owns a detective business, but before that, he had died in an accident longer with his sister, and then they both were brought back to life from this spell. I'm not sure what it is, but it's called Malice, an evil spell that corrupts the soul of humans. And that spell brought Johnny and his sister back to life with a bunch of evil magic inside of them. And because of that evil spell of Malice, his sister turned evil, but somehow Johnny didn't. And he used that spell to attack his enemies like monsters around. And this character, he fought a bunch of dangerous monsters who had dangerous abilities all around. And then he groups with these two warriors, one whose name is Shania and the other one, his name is Nathan, and those two tells him everything about Malice. Johnny has a transformation was given by the powers of Malice, and that ability, I don't know how strong it is, but it kills his enemies very quick. But he only has one transformation, but Shania, she can transform into 4: water, wind, fire, and earth. But that, I'm gonna do it on another video, because right now I'm talking about Johnny. And after he was brought back to life, he lost his memories. He couldn't remember what happened, especially he did not remember that he had a sister, and his sister's name is Lady. Like I said, because that evil spell, she turned evil. But Johnny didn't, but he did had a transformation from the magic of Malice. I can't really remember of Shadow Hearts 3 or about Malice. Is that it's been a long time. I haven't played that game again. I played it since 2008, but remember the story and everything else about Shadow Hearts. You guys need to check it out right now, all the 3 games. Now let's start with NOWE. NOWE, he is a knight that is called Knights of the Seal, and he was raised by a blue dragon after his father was killed by this warrior named Kain. And then he got betrayed from the general of the Knights of the Seal, and NOWE, he left from that kingdom. And NOWE's abilities, he is half human and a half dragon. And the ending of that game, it really touched me so much. But in case you guys never heard about it and you want to find out, you can check it out right now, because I don't want to give any spoilers about this game. It's that these games were not a big hit like the games right now, and that's why I'm doing this battle, so everybody can know who they are and what are these games. Like I said, NOWE, he can transform. I don't know what, I think his half dragon power, I believe, and that ability is very good. So these two characters, they have one transformation with one ability. If you guys did heard about these characters and Shadow Hearts and DRAKENGARD, who will win? Well, for this matchup, I'm gonna undecided, because I do like Shadow Hearts 3 and I do like DRAKENGARD. I do like Johnny and I do like NOWE. Those two characters are awesome. Even that nobody knows about them, but I already saw their skills, their abilities, and everything. So this matchup, I'm gonna undecide it. But in case you guys heard about these characters, who will win? You decide in the comments down below. Alright, I think we're all set, so enough chatting. Let us begin. And before I start this video, if you don't like it, just click the dislike button. It's gonna be not a single problem. If you guys have an idea for arcade mode, leave it in the comments and I'll do it for you. And your name will be mentioned on the video with your idea. And please check out my last episode I did of arcade mode. That was Lightning from Final Fantasy 13 versus AHSOKA TANO from Star Wars. Alright, so enough chatting, let us begin. Johnny versus NOWE. Which warrior will take the victor on this matchup? Johnny from Shadow Hearts 3 versus NOWE from DRAKENGARD 2. No turning back, go. 2007, I discovered DRAKENGARD 2 because of my second oldest brother, because he's the one who bought it. And 2008, around the beginning, I discovered Shadow Hearts 3 because of my big brother, because he's the one who bought that game. And from there on, I've been playing these games. And like I said, these games, they were great. And there's not a lot of people, they don't know anything about these games. Alright, NOWE had won in this round, so the first point goes to him. I only wish that somebody will make action figures out of these characters based from their games, and like that, part of the game will be more popular, because it's the action figures who gives the popularity to the game. Because there are also other games that not people don't know about, like from Capcom and Square Enix. Alright, now we got a tie. Both fighters got 1 point each. And I really like Square Enix, because Square Enix, they do a bunch of great games like Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, and DRAKENGARD. DRAKENGARD is also from Square Enix, and hopefully that Bring Arts makes action figures from DRAKENGARD. Doesn't matter which part, 1, 2, or 3. Hopefully 3, because I do like the girl Zero, but I don't like the story that she has to kill all her sisters. Another point for NOWE, 2 points for him, and 1 point for Johnny. Yeah, these games were insane. Even the story were kind of messed up, but I did like it. I enjoyed playing these games. And the one I really enjoyed the most is Shadow Hearts 3. And my favorite characters are Johnny and Hilda. And Hilda, she's a vampire. And she's kind of funny. But you need to be careful how you use her on the game. Alright, now we got a tie. Both fighters got 2 points each. Because her abilities, you have to be careful which one you choose, because if you click the wrong one, she turns into a bat, a pink bat. And if you press the wrong ability, she turns fat. And that I don't like. Another point for NOWE, and clothes ripped out from Johnny. 3 points for him and 2 points for Johnny. There is more about Shadow Hearts 3, that there's 7 characters, but you have to pick 4 to make a team. Alright, now we got a tie again. Both fighters got 3 points each. Yeah, you have to pick 4 characters to make a team. And there's Johnny, Shania, Nathan, Hilda, and there's a cat named Mao, a Marachi named, I forgot the name of the Marachi, and also the ninja. Well, the ninja, he has a bunch of great abilities, but he's also one of the funniest characters in the game. And he also gets whatever thing he finds and he turns it into a weapon. Alright, another point for Johnny. 4 points for him and 3 points for NOWE, and clothes ripped out from NOWE. Yeah, he finds anything and then he makes it to a weapon. Ladies and gentlemen, today's victor is Johnny from Shadow Hearts 3. And there he is. And for DRAKENGARD 2, the same thing. That there's 4 characters in your team. And you can switch them by picking their weapon. And that game I really loved so much, like I mentioned in the video. Because Square Enix, they made bunch of great games back in the early 2000s, and that's when Kingdom Hearts was born. Longer the first game of DRAKENGARD. I bet there were more Square Enix games in the early 2000s. I'm not so sure about that, but around there I discovered Final Fantasy, and that was the first Square Enix game I played before. And Final Fantasy is one of the classic games of all time. But like I said in the beginning of the video, if you never heard about these games, Shadow Hearts from the New World and DRAKENGARD 2, please check them out right now. There's a bunch of gameplays on YouTube, and when you guys see it, I bet you guys will love these games. And I forgot to tell you about Johnny. Johnny doesn't have a samurai sword. He has a dagger or switchblade, but he turns it to a light energy sword, and that's why I give that soul to Johnny. Because right here, there's no weapon that has like a laser attack, like a laser sword. So I just give a sword instead. But like I said, he doesn't has no sword. He has a switchblade that turns into a bunch of energy light sword, and that is awesome. So if you guys heard about these characters, who will win? You decide in the comments down below. Could be Johnny or NOWE. You decide. Alright guys, that's all for today, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy it. If you did, leave a like. If you want to share this video, go ahead, be my guest. Comment, but remember, do not leave any offensive comments or saying bad words. If you do that, your comment will be removed from this video. And subscribe to the channel for more fantasy cross duels for arcade mode on the Soul Calibur 5 video game. And please follow my Facebook page, Fantasy Cross Duels. Alright guys, up next, TAKINOM from Chaotic versus AGUNIMON from Digimon Frontier for arcade mode on the Soul Calibur 5 video game. Take care everybody, and I'll see you next time. This is CN.TSUKAIMA, and he's out in line.